G'day. G'day. Yesterday I made a video and I explained quite clearly the laws in this country in relation to the establishment of the Commonwealth and everything else. I got a lot of good comments. I got some stupid clowns who laugh and accused me of something which was a lie, and he was only a troll, but he can't help it. He's entitled to his opinion even if it is a lie, and that it was. I don't make any money out of what I do. If I lecture anywhere away from here, the people who want me to lecture pay for fuel, provide accommodation and meals, because I'm on a pension. Now, let's start about the treason and everything else that's committed in this country at this time. If you read this book by Dick Yardley, it's very, very interesting. It is the truth of what the political parties, who don't exist in law, if they do, they would be in our constitution, they're not. They would like to have you believe that they have all this authority. Sir Harry Talbot Gibb is on the back of here, and he says, I therefore have come to the conclusion that the current legal and political system in use in Australia and its states, territories, has no basis in law. He didn't say we had no law. He said the system has no basis in law. Why? Because the political parties and their members are serving their political parties, not the people. How do you represent the people when you're not? Albo thinks he's doing a great job in China, lying to them, misleading them into believing that the people here want to give our gas, our coal, and everything else we got, iron ore, to them for nothing, just to help them because we think they're good boys. No, that's not true. If we can help another country, I'd be the first one to step up if I had some money to donate some. I have in the past to a country that needs it. And then it ends up through the Red Cross in the pockets of rich people who don't give a hang about these people. And who's doing it? The political parties. Why is the Red Cross in the United Nations building? Why? Aren't they a charitable organisation with an ABN number? How come? Then you listen to the dribble that comes out of the mouth of the purported Governor-General. She allowed Anthony Albanese to commit blatant treason on the people, breach the oath of allegiance he owes to the people, and every single politician. You allowed them to breach the oath of allegiance they owe to the people. Every single senator, every member of the House of Representatives, before taking this seat, is required to swear the oath in our Constitution. I read it yesterday. It's clear. That's what you have to do. Now, who selects the portfolio holders? The purported Governor-General. We haven't got one. So instead of having an executive government, we have what they would like to have us believe, a political party-backed cabinet, which is the executive, which it is not. The political party cannot put together legislation. It has to be put together by the Governor in Council. 10 from the lower house selected, 8 from the upper. The Governor-General, if he was lawful, and it's not lawful, would give them the portfolios. Then we have Australia's greatest traitor, and I say traitor with good reason. One, I'm a lawfully sworn Commonwealth public official. I don't care if people believe it. I produced the document to the court here. All they had to do was read it. They would find out I was lawfully selected, lawfully sworn in, and I had the right. G'day, Ruby Fields. And I had that right to do what I'm doing. And that is as a peacekeeper in this country, as a sworn officer of the Crown. Requirement is I report indictable offences, which is what I'm about to do. Penny Wong went overseas without obtaining permission of the people that she purports to represent, in a position as Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister. You cannot be the Foreign Minister and a member of a political party. You have to be a member of the executive government, and you're not. Our Constitution says this only grants us the right to have people elected according to this, a constitution derived from this. And Penny Wong is not. She does not swear the lawful oath, and to my knowledge has not sworn the lawful oath contained in the Constitution. So now what do we have? We have a lying traitor, goes to another country and claims to sign Australia up to the WHO. Under what authority? Under what authority, Penny Wong? Does this give you authority? No. What's the job of a minister for foreign affairs? Set up embassies, check on the embassies, and have those embassies deal in trade with this country. So why is Albanese in China? What's he giving away? Why weren't the media allowed in? Oh, look at that. They might find some truth. The truth that he's a traitor. The Constitution is clear. You have to collect, as a federal parliament, if you are lawful. The executive runs all the different government departments, not the parliament. That it debates and passes legislation put together by the executive. Therefore, when Penny Wong went overseas and purported to sign up to the WHO, had anything to do with the WEF or the United Nations, that is blatant treason. You did not get permission of the people. You know, this book was put together by Dr. John Quick and Sir Robert Garran. They were involved in the putting together of the draft copy for this. This is an actual act of the British Parliament, not as the Constitution, like people say, oh, it's just an act of the British Parliament. No, that's a lie. In the front of the annotated Constitution, which, by the way, is a public record of how they decided each section of the Constitution and how it was going to be interpreted. And you are nothing more, according to that book, traitors. The supreme, absolute, and uncontrollable authority remains with us, the people. Around 16.5, 17 million of us. Give or take a few immigrants that are here unlawfully. Unlawfully because if they immigrate and are naturalised under the provisions of the Constitution, the only authority for them to exist. That is run and controlled by the Governor-General. Why? Because we said so. We the people are sovereign and supreme. The Parliament is not. All the lies that come out of the mouths of so-called professors And as I said, are they liars? I don't know. If they believe what they say and are reiterating that nonsense, yeah, they are lying. If they haven't checked up, and Toomey should have checked up, so should a lot of other people, before they start blabbing on here. I have to, you have to. You are no better than me, you are no worse than me, except for where you take yourself. Now, Penny Wong, you're now formally advised by me, as an officer of the Crown, you committed an act of treason. Can I prove that? Yes, the Constitution says you have no right to be inviting other people to take control of anything in this country. Nothing. No right whatsoever. You cannot even get it from us because there are no lawful politicians. The clowns in this state that decide and have decided to send out notices and fines from an electoral commission that doesn't exist, and it is an electoral commission that does not exist in law. Each state has an electoral act. I showed you before, it is a lawful act put in place in 1890 to each state how you will conduct elections. The federal one has no authority. There's nowhere in the Constitution says they can, but there is no lawful federal parliament because no state, which is what Sir Harry Gibbs was referring to, no state has a constitution in place. His statement, if it's in relation to that, is true. If it isn't, it's not. Simple. Because if it's not true, then we're under every law purported to be put in place by a lawful federal parliament, which we don't have. So what? Yeah, if it's not grand, yeah, all right. I understand completely like that. It's a little bit you missed out of there too, Cameron, but don't worry about it. The fact of the matter is, Penny Wong went overseas without permission of the people to lie and sign a purport, because it didn't happen, that she signed us over to the WHO. We did not vote in an election for any member of the WHO. Have we been told what they want? No. Have you given us a chance? No. It doesn't matter if you give us 6 months. You are not lawfully there. You went there outside the provisions of the Constitution. And in doing what you did, you haven't sworn the lawful oath as required by Section 42 of the Constitution. Not you, not any other member of the Parliament. You are all sitting in treason. You, Penny Wong, are a traitor. I understand you came from another country. You purport to have come here lawfully. But now you can go back, because when you're convicted of treason, I'm accusing you of treason, so you're incapable of sitting in the Parliament. Read your Constitution. You took an unlawful oath. So did Albanese. So did every politician. So did the purported Governor-General. There is a letters patent issued by Queen Victoria, which is upheld by every single monarch since then, which puts in place the Governor-General of this country. You can't implement international law here, mate. I'll tell you that. If you want to talk to me personally, I will. I'll show you. Anyway, international law has to be approved by the people. Anything signed outside this country that doesn't go to the people before it's implemented is a fraud. I don't care what Professor says otherwise, what Chief Justice or any other justice says. You sign an agreement with another country, you get permission of the people first, according to law. If you want to go and sign it and then come back here, That doesn't make sense. We have to agree. Did we agree to join the United Nations and give them a big mound of money? No, we didn't. So that joining is treason. Doesn't exist in law. The WEF, treason. Doesn't exist in law. WHO, treason. Doesn't exist in law. That means Albanese and all the current purported government are sitting in blatant treason. It's in front of you. It's time the federal police arrested them and locked them up for treason. Can we do something about it? Yes. But you have to get your backsides into gear and do it. Can you take them to the High Court? No. The 1979 Act was put there to take the High Court out of the Constitution and put it under the control of the existing federal parliaments. It doesn't work that way. Where's the separation in powers? It's not there, doesn't exist, you're lying, as usual. The annotated Constitution tells us, and it is the truth, and even Anne Toomey says it's the same as the green one. That's a lie, but don't worry about small things like lies, eh, Anne? Anyway, page 936, the 8th line down, says you can set up municipal authorities and local government. Two separate entities. Municipal authorities are these clowns call themselves local government, and they are not. It is a Labor Party platform, and it always has been. They will create them as super councils and abolish the states. Well, you're not. You're not. You understand that? We said no. 1999, we said get lost, go back under the system. We have. The one under the Constitution. Your referendum was a fraud anyway. Everything you've done no, Dale, it's not. They don't need a treaty. We can't join it because our Constitution is indissoluble. We are at Federation, or were at Federation, are afterwards, and are now a self-governing colony of England under the provisions of Clause 8 to the Constitution. And Toomey said it only recognises, along with her people she knows, the Clause 9. You can't, because it's all here. The 9 clauses, it's part of this. We, the people, accepted this as our Constitution. It says so. What part can't you understand? I'm not going to make this a long video, just to say this. Hi Wayne, what do you do about your rates these days? Do you tell them to piss off? Dan Nye? No, I don't. I don't pay rates. You don't have to swear at them or put that on my post, thank you. Speak a little bit more respectfully to everybody else who's on here. No bad language. I don't use it. I don't expect you to. But in answering your question, why are you paying rates? Why are you paying a council when you pay car licence to pay for roads, driver's licence to pay for roads, tax on the fuel, pay for your roads, income tax, pay for your roads? How many times do you have to pay for these roads before we get decent roads? You know, people can come on here and come on with their nice little signs, and when you go on to their sites you find there's nothing there, and in some of them there's nothing inside their heads either to believe the nonsense they believe. We, the people, not the politicians, joined together in an indissoluble federation of the Commonwealth of Australia under the Enabling Act, which enables us to have a constitution. We joined under this, proclaimed and gazetted on the 1st of January 1901. We then could either use this in its entirety, which we did, as a constitution, and the interpretation is as per the framers and the public record. This one, not the green one. We didn't authorise it, as they say. It was just another lie. You can say what you like. They had the right to. They had no rights. It is a parameter set by the people. Plenary power, I've explained that and I'm not going into it. That is for the Parliament to pass legislation put together by the executive. They can't be restrained. That's what that means. If you can't figure that, Ann Toomey, go back to school. You used to be a lawyer? Well, to me, the book of Luke in the Bible says, woe unto you lawyers, deceivers of the people, liars, thieves and cheats. Pretty well fits every lawyer I've come across, with the exception of a few. And they know who they are. We're friends. We've been friends for a long, long time. Why? Because I deal with them honestly. They deal with me honestly. That's it. You don't like that tough. Some lawyers are good. Not very many. But I respect them if they respect me. To respect me, they've got to tell me the truth. I know what the truth is. I've read it. It's in our books. Our books belong to the people. It's whereas the people. So I'm just going to state, Penny Wong, you're a filthy liar and traitor. Anthony Albanese, you're a filthy liar and a traitor. The purported Governor General, you are a filthy liar and a traitor to this country. You have not followed the instructions from the people which are in this, and you're bound by it. It's not if you want to swear the oath, it's you have to before you swear the oath of office. Anywhere in the public service, before you take up your office, you must swear the oath contained in this. Doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter what you're told. The Constitution states that. If you haven't got the guts and the brains to stand up, then spend the rest of your life in jail. Penny Wong, you should be deported. Your citizenship rescinded. You can't say you're incapable of learning the Constitution. You can't say you don't have the ability. I listen to what you say. I watch the things you do. You stand up for what you believe in. But what comes out of your mouth is not the truth. It isn't the law. You cannot change it. You cannot speak an authority into being when it doesn't exist in law. How many times Paul Pettit deport her to where? Where she came from, Paul? Didn't she come from Malaysia? Send her back there. How do you put them on notice? How did you? I'm doing it, Dale Cooksey. I've done it by seizing the 3 lawful tiers of the federal parliament and holding the lot in fraud until they prove their authority. Why? Chapter 3, Section 76, page 795, the 4th paragraph says I can. I can challenge them. I did. We are no longer living under common law rubbish. We're not living under canon law from the Vatican. You can live under that if you want. The Jesuits hate constitutional rights. I don't care whether they hate it, Milton. They're under the Constitution. We said, we are sovereign and supreme. The Vatican has no control over this country. Just because Gough Whitlam signed the Union Treaty doesn't mean he had the authority to. He didn't. He lied. He signed over 300 new laws into being, backdated a lot of them, every single one invalid, including the Immigration Act. The Constitution says you immigrate one way. You come into this country, you follow our customs and beliefs, you pack up or get out. Yeah, with the help of the freedomunion.org, yeah, make a pack of clowns. I don't care what group you're in. But if you don't follow the Constitution, you're sitting in treason. We have a Constitution. It is the parameters we set as how we wish to be governed, put together by Australians. It was put to England as a request. It came back as an imperial act. Because we're a self-governing colony of England, we needed an act which gave us permission to have a constitution, to federate from 6 colonies to 6 states. So that's down the way you could increase or decrease the size of them. Use the documents I've got on my Facebook page. There's 2 of them. We've just used them. That's how you do it, Gerard. It's in there on my Facebook page. It's on TikTok. It's on Telegram, and the reference to where you can get it, it's on there. We've just filed it. We've challenged the jurisdiction of the court to hear it, the jurisdiction of the court to sit, based on the fact that none of them have sworn the lawful oath. No lawyers have either. They're required to as well. Not the oath to the Bar Association. That's a load of nonsense. Anyone can argue what they like. The fact is, under Section 44 of the Constitution, you, Penny Wong, are now tainted of treason. I'm revealing an indictable offence where you left this country outside the provisions of the Constitution. You left it. You went and signed up to the WHO and allegedly decided you were signing up for us. You can't. No one can. It's whereas the people, not politicians. Just because you acted like a clown and decided you had that authority, you don't have it. You are now officially attainted of treason. Why? Because I've looked up the law and the law says so, and I have every right to state that. You are a traitor to this country. So is Anthony Albanese, and so is every single politician. Yeah, you can do the same to the state government to not pay land tax. There's no such thing as land tax or rates in the Constitution because there is no control by any parliament, state or federal, over land. If there is, it would be in Section 51 of the Constitution. They had no power to do it before Federation, after Federation, and now. Simple as that. That's the law. They don't like it. I don't care. It's as simple as that. We don't have to pay to live on our land, which we spend all our lives paying for. Ridiculous sums of money. And then some idiot comes along and says, oh, we've changed the titles. We've sold the title off. Why did you sell the titles off? In Western Australia, they sold it to pay compensation to the victims of the Roman Church. Fact, yes. Who told me? Politician. He's against it, but they did it. They don't care. They don't care what the people think. You just think you can do what you like. So I'm going to cut this off because I have no wish to get in debates over people on other subjects. The subject matter is Penny Wong signed an unlawful agreement with the WHO. That was an act of treason. It's up to her to prove she had the authority in the Constitution to do it. She can't do that. She can't do it. She wasn't representing the people. She wasn't voted in at the state level under the lawful Electoral Act of every state, put in place in 1890. I'm not going to argue with you. You are a liar and you're a traitor to this country. You need to stand trial. Everything you own is removed from you. And no, I don't hate you. I forgive you for what you have done, but you've still got to pay the penalty for it. Simple as that. I know you have a partner, female. That's up to you. If you wish to take her back to your country, good. Take her and go. Everything, when you're charged with treason, and you have to be, is King Charles crowned with the St. Edward's crown. There is no Saint anything crown. It's the crown of England. After the Revolution in 1650, it became, regardless of what cross or jewels or whatever else is on it, it became the crown of the United Kingdom. Work it out. It's all there. The Church of England was attached as a protesting church after the Revolution to the Roman Church. Simple as that. It's all in the history of England. I've got the books on it. It's clear. And that's all I got to say. Penny Wong, get out of our Parliament before you stand trial for treason. The penalties under Halsey's Laws of England, Volume 2, are huge. They're huge, and the penalties here are just as good. And there is no reason why you cannot be deported from this country for treason against this country and the people. You had no right, and you can't prove you have, because there is no authority for you to do what you did and sign us, the people, up to anything. And you cannot benefit from a crime. So you in the WHO, bring it on. If you think the people in this country are going to sit back and watch you do the things you did last time, it's not going to happen. You know it. That's why Western Australia is flat out trying to get rid of all the guns. And so are the rest of you, because you know the people will not take any more of your crap. We don't have to. I am for remedy and unity. I get that, Paul. I'm just answering what you ask so that other people who have the same ideas answer it. So thank you. I'm not ridiculing people. The United Nations follows the writings of, I don't care who it does, satanic medium. Yeah, that's okay. But it's nothing to do with us. We did not sign up to it. We were not asked. The Treaty of Versailles wasn't done. What you've got to bear in mind, but nothing the federal parliament does is lawful. Till every single state puts its constitution back in place, we have 6 lawful states which we don't have, to create the first lawful federal parliament, which we've never had. Would she be even aware of what she does, Terry? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely does. If she doesn't, boo-hoo, her requirements are, she swears the oath of allegiance. She hasn't. She cannot sit in the executive government unless she's selected by the Governor-General. She has to know that. She must swear the oath contained in the Constitution. If she doesn't, too bad. She doesn't know. Elizabeth, everything you say is true, but there is no remedy. They're not listening. Who cares? No, they're not laughing at us at all. When you go into court and you throw it in their face, they're stunned. And they let you get away with a lot if you put it in their face where it belongs. What's wrong with the man in this country? I'll tell you straight out. Where are your balls, you gutless fleas? Get up and tell these people these things to get out of our parliament. Stop lying to us. What the heck is wrong with you? You can't blame women. They have one baby and go and have another one. They've got more balls than you idiots have. And that's a fact. I've seen 8 of them born. Mine. AI is taking over the internet. Good, delete it. Get in an argument with AI using the Constitution. It changes, isn't it marvellous? It actually changes. It listens sometimes. I got a young brother who likes playing games with it, and it cuts him off and then comes back a couple of days later with what he said. That's true. What the heck is wrong with people? AI is probably already sitting in the brains of people like all the politicians. Just listen to the dribble that's coming out of their heads. Anyway, I'm not carrying on any further. Penny Wong, you're a traitor. You should be removed from your position and jailed for life. Albanese and every single politician that's sitting there under the current system, because it's unlawful. The lot. Read your Constitution. It's clearly laid out there. The opinions of peanuts in an annotated green Constitution is not the truth. And I don't care what you think. It's all under lawful seizure. The lawful tiers of the government, state and federal, all under lawful seizure. So is every court in this country at this time. It's before the Magistrates Court, Geraldton, which is only on invitation, so we give them a present. The problem is, we do need to stand up. We means everybody. I don't care what colour you are. It's whereas the people, all colours included. Why aren't you including yourselves? Because you're trying to get something for nothing. And now some beautiful ladies are coming out and saying we want unity. Yes, because we were born here too. We can't go to another country. There is no other country. So what do you suggest we do? Get boats and float around in the ocean until it suits you clowns? Who's going to pay you the rent? We are not. We don't rent off kids. And most of you are a lot younger than the ones you expect to pay money. I'm 77 years old, and no, I'm not suffering from dementia as that moron said yesterday. I was tested a few months ago, full medical including that. No, my brain's working perfect. That's why I'm sitting here telling you what a bunch of lying, thieving thugs you are. And the people of this country, grow some balls. Come on. You've got kids. I've got 17 grandkids. I'm not going to leave this country to a pack of thieving mongrels who think we should be enslaved. And when someone doesn't like us, oh, look at that, we'll just call it a pandemic. And we'll invent another new disease. Did they invent the last one? According to the TGA, they've never ever isolated the coronavirus. According to them. Their document. I read it. And I read it when I was questioned on here. I read from Pfizer how many people got killed from that disease. Now, what's this? All properties have been transferred to China to pay down debt. Crap. They have not. And they can't. Read the law of this country. We don't owe Chinese anything. They owe us from what they're taking from this country. I'm not mocking anybody. I'm clearing up what...
They should stop promoting them.
Yeah, they should stop promoting them. I agree. Now, no, we don't need to go into civil war. We just need to stop paying these peanuts. The GST is unlawful. Read your constitution. Taxing our wages is unlawful. Read your constitution. 1 million people at the GG and demand new writs. No, the writs have to go to the governors of the states. We have to have lawful ones, Elizabeth, so we can have a lawful state and federal parliament. Because until that's done, it's not lawful. You dissolve a parliament, it's gone. It's finished. There's nothing left. How did Albanese go in there, resign as a prime minister and reinstate himself as a prime minister? He lied. It's fraud and it's treason. All right, that's it. I've had my say, and it's not a rant. All I've put is the law. All I'm saying is that document, whatever it was that Penny Wong signed, is blatant treason. She either recants it or stands trial for treason. Can we do it? Yes. Yes, we can. Thank you.